flow of being meditation is one that we use in the morning for our workshops, and it's a way for people to really come into contact with their body, and through their body to come into contact with everything that they're feeling. So when we move and breathe and allow ourselves to connect with our physicality and our body, we get in touch with ourselves more, and what that does is enable us to be in contact with our own energy flow. And when that energy flow can move, then we're in touch with ourselves, and the flow can move up, and we can become more in touch with all life, all existence, with source. So we can get out of our head into our body and into our feelings. So we use that meditation every morning in our workshops.
So for me, how I want to live my life is having roots, having a connection to my own body, being centered in my own body, and have wings, can fly high, can really do the things in my life I really want to do. And this is the core of the meditation, to come to a point finding myself with my breath in my body, seeing my own beauty, seeing my own radiance, and find from this my expression, how I want to live my life, how I want to contribute to the world. And all this is this meditation. Stepping into my body, open all the chakras, learning to have all this energy flowing in my body, going out into the world, connecting to spirit, and living a whole, complete and full life.
It brings us very much into the present moment, into just what's happening now, being now, into our being, and this energetic flow. And that when we're in contact with ourselves in that way, we can also expand out, and that attunement with ourselves enables us to have a deeper attunement with the world around us, and with spirit, with source, with essence, because we're in contact with our own essence. So there's like a reverberation between the two.
To do this meditation is an expression that I have realized for myself in my life. If I want to find myself, I have to change the direction of my life. I have to go inside. I have to go inside my body, and I have to connect to my breathing. And I have seen and learned for myself, and I'm exploring. That's the real thing. Not my car, not my house, nothing is really real. The meditation, when I'm really connecting with something inside me that's bigger than me, that's the real thing. This is why I would like that people see this for themselves. There is a way to connect to this core, to this center in myself. And this flow of being meditation is one beautiful way, very dynamic and very alive, to do this. To connect to my body, to connect to my breathing, to connect to the oneness, to the bigger one in me, not to the small self, to the bigger one in me. And this is what this meditation can give.
The first two sections of the meditation are really energetic, they're wild. The first one is just about 8 minutes, is shaking, where we're really bringing ourselves totally alive, shaking up, getting access to all the energies within us. And then the second stage, which is about 8 minutes long, is going into our wild, dynamic energy. It might be frustration, it might be exuberance, it might be wildly sexual, it might be angry, it might be delighted. Whatever it is, we're allowing it, and allowing it to be expressed and to move and to sound. So these first two stages at the beginning are really stirring everything up and allowing ourselves to come into connection with everything. And then the whole thing calms down. So we have a very calm stage of self-love with a chakra journey that is quite still and inner looking. And we get more and more still, connecting up, bringing the energy all the way up to the crown, into a total stillness. And then from there we bring it back down again, and then we sit for 15 minutes in that ability just to be there, witnessing, being with all the energy that's stirred up, now in total stillness, just sitting in our being, connected with our being. And from there we move back into a celebration, a joyful call back into our day, into the beauty that life is when we let ourselves be. The music for this is really critical. We had an idea of the kind of music we wanted, and Wiggs had done the meditation with us, so he knew the kind of music we wanted to use. And what was important is to get the music so that each sound really supports the journey and supports the possibilities for us to be in connection. And the process going through, I think in the end we had about 8 or 9 different versions, and we kept listening to it and testing it out with a group and coming back with hearing which were the pieces that really worked and which were the pieces that pulled people out. So over and over we created this music until it was refined to something where people could use the music to support them and hold them in their journey without any piece of it pulling them out or making them focus on the music. Because the idea of the music is that it's a container, but not that you're in there listening to it. It should almost fade into the background so that it's holding you and you're the central piece in the meditation. You're getting into contact with your being, your flow, and not being taken somewhere by the music. So the music really supports you in finding yourself rather than showing you somewhere to go. So we decided to work with Wiggzaro because he'd already done some work with us. So he knew the context in which we used this meditation, and that was important for us. We knew that he had a sensitivity to what we were doing and the deep importance of this work for us, the deep importance of this meditation in the context of our work, and also his sense of using different instruments and having live instruments and having different drums and being able to create different effects with drums and bells and gongs, and just the creativity of a vast soundscape that can all come together to create something that's just what was needed for various different phases of the meditation. Because each phase is really different. Each phase needs a different kind of musical background and musical support and holding. So creating that with him was fun. It was fun to work with Wiggs. It was fun to keep going back, and his patience in creating and wanting to create just exactly the right soundscape, the right piece that would really fit, and listening so closely to each piece so that it would be just exactly right. The creation of this piece has involved so many people right from the beginning. All the people who did the meditation and gave us all the feedback, who were willing to listen to it and work with it, with Wiggs, with Frida, so that we could create something that we were really satisfied with and really pleased with.
Until I did this meditation, a music song was a music song. Now, whenever I hear a music song, I have a big double screen in front of me with all these different dots and all these different instruments, and I have sometimes really difficulties to come back to the music and not see this immense kind of work that is behind producing a song. And this is my answer. So I never thought, and I had no idea how much communication is needed, how much feeling into each other in working on a project like this, how difficult it is to express myself in a way that somebody else really understands what I want. I never had the idea that this is so difficult, until it really is where it is a very good piece of work, I think. So I honor Wiggzaro for his patient with us. I honor him for his skills to put this all together, and his willingness, incredible willingness to do it again and again and again and again until the product is so that we are all agree this is a very, very good product. So it's mind-blowing, the amount of detail, yeah.
So the artwork, again, we went through a big process of having several different artists to create different possibilities and explain to them a little bit about the meditation and how they would represent that artistically. And the one we came to in the end, I feel really pleased with, because it has a sense of being rooted in the ground and of a sense of coming to that sitting and stillness and connection with your own nature and with nature. And I think that's embodied in the final piece that we selected, so that there's a sense of both of nature and stillness, which is where you can come to. So now that the album is ready, now that we're really ready to release this, to give it to the world, to have it be available as a tool that people can use, it feels wonderful just to have that as something that people can take away, that people can take home with them, that people can use in their own home, to have a sense of the work that we do that is really very much about embodiment and coming into connection with your own being. And people can take that, and that's, yeah, there's something thrilling about just having completed it and gone through this whole process of getting the music right and getting the wording right and getting the artwork right, and then it all comes together, and that's what you'll get when you order it.
I feel great. I did not expect that this is so much work. That's one thing, to produce an album. I had no idea. That's one aspect. And I hope that people will use it and start their day in another way. And they come to this point when they do a meditation, this meditation or another meditation, and then have done something first thing in the day for themselves, that they are proud of themselves, and then it's a totally different start to continue with whatever task you have to do in your life.
So if you're considering buying this meditation, I would really encourage you to. If you would like to have a way on a regular basis to get in contact with your own energy, to enliven yourself, to contact your aliveness, to go deep inside into your own inner being and connect with your feelings, your heart, to connect your body and your feelings and your spirit, and to feel yourself in this one beautiful, magnificent flow of being, then this is a process, this is a meditation that I can really recommend to you and encourage you to get. So if that's what you'd like to have in your life, this will be a tool that will serve you.